What do you think about Ripple? Well, I mean, I think it's
All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Early Morning Crypto Talk. Bitcoin Brandon here from Los Angeles, California, sunny LA. It's about time. We're expected to have a good run for the next week of sunshine. Go ahead and type in the chat box where you're listening in from. I see Eldridge. Welcome. Bethany Gibbs from Seattle, Shane West, Chicago, Lorna Vasquez, Tommy Adum from New Jersey, Cleve Stewart, New York, Court Gomes, sunny Florida, Who Me, Tony Pinkston from Philly. As a disclaimer, I'm not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share a suggestion, and it is up to you to make an informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to move into. There's 4 rules I live by in the crypto space to have success. Rule number 1, education is key. Education is everything. Rule number 2, never invest money you cannot afford to lose. Rule number 3, always get your return on investment back as fast as possible. Rule number 4, where do you see yourself in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now in this space? What vehicle are you choosing to use to get you there? Make a decision, take action, and remain focused. Do not get distracted. Now, following these rules is not going to guarantee you success, but it will at least minimize your risk. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the most that we can ask for. All right, so let's go ahead and get started this morning with a couple of articles that I found interesting just by off the title. Well, the first, look at the coin market cap. 134.2 billion has gone up since that. Did I do Crypto Talk last night? Yeah, since last night. Gone up a couple hundred million. Bitcoin dominance 51.3%. See, Bitcoin's at 39.15. It's been hovering around this price for the last couple of days. No movement over the last 24 hours, 0.03%. Ethereum is down, negative 0.54%. Ripple is up, almost 2%. So a pretty flat market over the last 24 hours, although there has been an increase in volume. Best performers, Bitcoin Diamond, almost 20%. Maximine Coin, Digitex Futures. Electronium is up 16%. It's almost back up to 7 cents. I'm sorry, 0.007 cents, almost back up to a penny. Qcoin shares, Komodo, Crypto.com chain. Yeah, the altcoins are rising. Worst performers, Zcoin, Theta, Ravane, ABBC Coin, Project Pi. Nothing in the top 10. All right, let's look at some news here. Let's go with international. Korea. The biggest actor in Korea invests in crypto, and that's a big deal for Asian markets. Yeah, this mass adoption could take place there. Let's put this in here. See, welcome Shauna Ross, Jay Guillory, Dan Williams, Brenda Abram. All right. Bae Young Joon. Anybody heard of him before? Arguably the most influential and widely recognized actor in South Korea. Featured in films like Winter Sonata and The Legend. Invested in a local crypto startup called Seaman. According to Hank Yore, a mainstream media outlet in South Korea, Seaman is co-founded by the Norway-based Ocean Supreme, the most dominant company in the Japanese salmon market. Ocean Supreme exports sashimi quality salmon from Norway to Japan, generating $150 million in annual turnover purely from salmon sales. Well, in Ireland, Japan is getting its salmon from another country. I find that quite interesting. The publication exclusively reported that Bae reached out to the company to participate as an advisor and later asked to invest in the crypto project. The company said it cannot reveal the amount invested by the actor, but Bae is said to have invested well over $100,000 in the project. Bae has consistently been interested in the seafood industry for a long time. Initially, Bae reached out to Seaman to participate as an advisor, but he wanted to invest in the project, and last month, we processed the investment. We cannot disclose the exact amount of the investment, but it is not in the tens of thousands of dollars range. Seaman President Lee Jung-hoon said, in recent years, the blockchain industry has seen an increase in the number of companies attempting to utilize blockchain technology to process seafood exports, imports, and supply chain. Well, there you go. Another industry where you have mass adoption or disruption because of the blockchain. Intel, for instance, the $240 billion technology conglomerate, developed a blockchain network called Sawtooth as a part of the Hyperledger Foundation to support a seafood supply chain on top of the blockchain. Hold on one second. You guys heard of Intel, right? It's worth $240 billion. What is the total market cap of all crypto? $134 billion. Oh, I don't have that old I had reset my computer. I got to find that whole chart again. It shows you the world's wealth, where the money is. Now, right now, crypto's at the beginning. We're not even a blip on the radar screen. Companies are bigger than the entire crypto market is right now. But they're putting the whole seafood industry, they want to put that on the blockchain. I think that's a good idea. We're able to track where the food is coming from. If there's anything wrong with it, we're able to track that. The report from Intel read, to merge the digital and physical world, Sawtooth's records records the journey of seafood from ocean to table. Like the fish in this case study, IoT sensors, that's Internet of Things sensors, can be attached to any object and trusted to someone else for transport with trackable ownership, possession, and telemetry parameters such as location, temperature, humidity, motion, shock, and tilt. Good grief. It just hit me. Have you ever seen movies like space movies, Aliens, or anything where the soldiers, their entire body is hooked up to some kind of sensor so that command at home is able to read the vital signs of their soldiers on the field? And they know that if they're having a heart problem, if they die, can you imagine this technology? It already exists, but adding it to the blockchain, and I predict, I don't know how long in the future, I predict babies that are being born, just like they're required to get the certain shots, that they're going to be, I don't want to use the word tagged, but there's no other word better than that. They're going to be tagged. And that tag is going to record that baby's data from birth. Not only their name, social security number, who their parents are, when, time of birth, age, or weight, 7 pounds, 10 ounces, 20 inches long. And then that device is going to be with you for life. And it's going to record everything about you. And they're going to say it's, for medical reasons. It's also a tracker. If a kid gets kidnapped, you're going to be able to find that kid anywhere. It's going to record all your data, your blood type, everything. The technology already exists. The blockchain is going to allow it to be recorded, open source. Mark my words, the days of revelation is really upon us. But I don't want to go down that road. Let's continue this. Bay is said to have invested in seamen primarily due to the involvement of a dominant player in the seafood industry like Ocean Supreme, which actually could provide the platform for startups like Seaman to use the blockchain and cryptocurrencies in settling global seafood sales. And that's going to happen for every industry, the farming industry as well, the medical industry. It's going to happen for all of those. But the investment of Bay in a cryptocurrency startup in South Korea could establish a precedent for the industry. Following the 2017 bull market, many retail investors in South Korea were hit hard by the 80% drop in the price of Bitcoin. Millennials to high school teachers who invested in the crypto market lost tens of thousands of dollars on average after obtaining bank loans and other leverage to invest in cryptocurrencies. As such, despite the involvement of the country's biggest conglomerates, including Samsung, Kakao, Shinhan Bank, and many more, a relatively large number of public figures who invested in the crypto space ended up apologizing to the public. While crypto remains a symbol of hope for the majority of investors, the sentiment around cryptocurrencies worsened to a point wherein public figures were pressured to hide their involvement in the crypto space. The public investment of Bay suggests that the sentiment around the crypto market of South Korea has noticeably improved in the last 15 months. The cryptocurrency sector of South Korea faced a roadblock when Upbit, the country's biggest cryptocurrency exchange, was investigated by the police for allegations of causing fake volumes. But with virtually every conglomerate committed to the cryptocurrency sector, the rate of which the crypto market in South Korea, especially on the institutionalization side, is rising. Let me repeat that first part of the sentence again. With virtually every conglomerate committed to the cryptocurrency sector, you don't have a choice. It's happening. All right, let's see what else we got here. Emerging markets are surging, and investors could send Bitcoin to the moon. So what are these emerging markets? Let me copy this. It is the beast system. Could that be the blockchain? Huh. All right. Emerging markets and their respective currencies are on the rise, which historically has had some correlation with the price of Bitcoin. According to Morgan Stanley, the global emerging markets benchmark is expected to rise by around 8% in 2019, primarily due to the increase in interest in the Chinese stock market following the optimistic prospect of the trade deal. Bitcoin versus emerging markets, what's the correlation? In August 2018, global macro analyst Peter Scher said that during periods of emerging market stress, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin as a store of value are expected to rise. He said, I would have expected Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies to do well in times of emerging market stress. If you live in an emerging market country where the political situation is tenuous and your currency is devaluing rapidly, it would make sense to want to store it or hide it or invest it in cryptocurrency. In theory, Bitcoin is the ideal hedge for a person of wealth in such a situation. Interesting why they use that. Bitcoin is an ideal hedge for a person of wealth. What about people that are not wealthy? It's an ideal situation for them to become wealthy. But Bitcoin has continued to follow the price trend of emerging markets benchmarks like the MSCI EM index to the downside. Investors and strategists expected emerging markets and Bitcoin to demonstrate an inverse correlation. Throughout 2018, the two had consistently shown correlation, and if the MSCI EM index moves up by 8% the year's end, it could have a positive effect on the prices of crypto. Speaking to CNBC's Trading Nation, Fundstrat Global Advisors head of research Tom Lee said in late 2018 that until emerging markets face a trend reversal to the upside, it is difficult to imagine many investors would be compelled to commit to the cryptocurrency market. Says both really essentially peaked early this year, and they both have been in a downward trend. Until emerging markets begin to turn, I think in some ways that correlation is going to hold and tell us that sort of the risk on mentality is those buyers aren't buying Bitcoin, Lee said. The emerging markets list for 2019 include countries like South Korea, we just talked about that country, the Philippines, China, Taiwan, and Thailand, which also represent relatively large cryptocurrency exchange markets. Notice a trend there. They're all in Asia. You don't hear United States, Canada, Mexico, UK, France, Germany, Italy. You're not hearing that. While China has cracked down on cryptocurrency trading, reports have suggested that investors are still purchasing cryptos through Hong Kong or local over-the-counter markets. In September, FCMP reported that cryptocurrency traders in China were circumventing restrictions to invest in the market. Terrence Zhang, chief operating officer of Tidebit, said, The latest warning of potentially increased monitoring of foreign platforms is targeted at a batch of smaller exchanges that have claimed to be foreign entities, but are in fact operating in China, claiming they have outsourced their operations to a Chinese company. Those exchanges whose website landing pages are in Chinese have drawn particular scrutiny by regulators. If you guys were here back in the summer of 2017 is when China banned everything crypto. And the shift moved from China, that used to be the center of the crypto universe, to Japan and South Korea. So it's not like they stopped doing business. They just took their business elsewhere. The correlation between emerging markets and Bitcoin is based on the theory that the improvement in the prospect of the economic growth rate of countries considered as emerging markets may lead more investors to commit to cryptocurrencies. Lee emphasized that investors are unlikely to invest in the cryptocurrency market when traditional markets are experiencing a sell-off. Given that cryptocurrencies present a more high-risk and high-return opportunity for investors, I'm disagreeing with this a bit, and I'll explain why in a moment. Bullish or bearish? Due to the Due to the noticeably increasing activities in the crypto industry pertaining to development funding, capital inflow, and the expansion of companies, industry executives remain optimistic towards the long-term growth of the crypto sector. In the near term, however, analysts generally lean towards a downside price movement for the crypto market unless Bitcoin establishes new momentum and pushes through key resistance levels it previously failed to breach. Well, yeah, technically, that all makes sense. Here's the problem. The market is not naturally being pushed down right now. It is happening, what's the word I want to use? It is deliberate. It is market manipulation. So until that market manipulation is released, they take the foot off the gas pedal. None of this matters. Bitcoin and crypto has gotten nothing but good news, and that has not moved the market when naturally it would, because the real investors it's not that they're coming, they're already here. You got to understand the difference. It's not that they're coming and we're waiting for institutional investors. They're already here. They're artificially forcing the price down while they build the infrastructure, get their patents in place, get their companies up and ready to move to handle the influx of money that's going to come. That's an important distinction. When they take their foot off that brake, I do not know. I have an idea. It's going to happen at the end of this year or going into 2020. But I do not know. And I think it's going to correlate to when the U.S. economy goes towards a recession, the closer that gets. All right, last up. So Hollywood is now picking up on crypto. You know, there's a movie I always wanted to see I haven't seen yet. What is it? Superfly? About that dude in Atlanta, gangster, whatever. He made his money and moved it around with crypto. So now, remember Big Bang Theory? What was that? December 2017, Big Bang Theory had an episode about Bitcoin. Ellen DeGeneres did a couple things about Bitcoin. So now we got an official movie. Crypto. Movie stirs backlash by pushing Bitcoin money laundering narrative. You are buying 100 BTC, 7,400 per BTC. Okay. Hollywood already has a sinister opinion about Bitcoin, even though few in the movie business probably know much about cryptocurrencies. The new film Crypto pushes the Bitcoin money laundering narrative, a stance that's echoed in the few TV shows that reference virtual currencies. The trailer for Crypto was released on March 11th. I haven't seen this trailer yet. The movie's tagline is "Fear is the ultimate currency." Is that what you're going to do here? spread fear. Who's in this? We got Kurt Russell, Luke Hemsworth. Isn't that Thor's brother? Luke Hemsworth? His name sounds familiar. Alexis Bledel, Bonap. Okay. According to IMDb, Internet Movie Database, Crypto is a crime thriller about a Wall Street banker who gets caught up in a global money laundering conspiracy involving the Russian mafia. Okay. Ooh, it's the bad Russians again. How original. In Russia, I wondered when they do their movies, are the bad guys Americans? Is there like an American mafia unit in Russia that nobody wants to mess with because they're freaking Americans? You know how it is in the United States. Every time there's a crime movie and you don't want to mess with the Russian gang, the Russian mob. Anyways. The movie features Kurt Russell, Luke Hemsworth, the brother. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, Chris Hemsworth. The brother of Thor star Chris Hemsworth, Bonap, and Alexis Bledel. Crypto will be released in select theaters on April 12th. Crypto fans annoyed by anti-Bitcoin theme. Details about the cyber thriller are sketchy. However, the trailer has been viewed more than 312,000 times in 24 hours, presumably by crypto fans who recognize that having Hollywood make a Bitcoin-centric movie signals that crypto has become mainstream. Yeah, that's true. And don't get too upset by this. I mean, because anything that's new always has a criminal negative impact at the beginning. That's how it's always viewed, because it's seen as exotic, as bad, as a naughty thing to do, because it's not mainstream yet. So this is just one step forward, even though it's a negative on Bitcoin. The trailer was panned by crypto-savvy commenters who are annoyed that Hollywood has demonized Bitcoin from the jump. Here's a smattering of snarky comments on YouTube. Hollywood makes crypto movies that insult crypto. I noticed this is also inaccurate. Great. They are making a movie about crypto, but in the worst way possible. Laughed my A off. Hollywood trying to scare people away from crypto. Russia bad, crypto bad. Thanks, Hollywood, for yet another original plot. Nice social programming. They used to make better propaganda material back in the day. It's here, the dumbest film ever made about something that writers don't understand. Nothing about the tech or devs, just a money laundering mafia movie. Great. Friendly reminder that banks launder more money than the entire market cap of all cryptocurrencies put together. That's correct. That is accurate. Others cracked the usual crypto jokes. There will be a 10-minute tense standoff while they wait for the blockchain to verify a transaction. Oh, that's funny. Only JPM coin and Facebook coin peeps will enjoy this. The rest of the crypto community will boycott it and then spend weeks explaining all the errors to our friends that do watch it. Yep. I got family. They'll watch this movie and be like, yeah, my cousin Brandon, he calling himself Bitcoin Brandon. He's in this thing. And I'm going to have to let them know what the real deal is. Bitcoin is slowly entering the zeitgeist. Despite the backlash, it's actually a sign of progress for the industry that Bitcoin is racking up the pop culture. Yeah, that's what I just said. In 2018, the hit Showtime series Billion briefly referenced cryptocurrencies in several episodes. However, like in the movie, virtual currencies were used to launder money in billions. That's because they don't understand it yet. Last season, hedge fund billionaire Bobby Axelrod, played by British actor Damian Lewis, twice featured Ledger's crypto hardware wallets. Naturally, Ledger was thrilled with the shout-out and proudly tweeted a screen recap from the TV show. It was a great surprise for us, getting more and more mainstream. Crypto mentions in pop culture are escalating. Interestingly, crypto has been bandied about in pop culture for several years. Back in December 2013, when few people had heard of Bitcoin, rapper Snoop Dogg tweeted that his next album would be available in Bitcoin and delivered in a drone. In May 2018, Snoop performed at Ripple's after party during Blockchain Week in New York. Who knew that Snoop, America's most famous pothead, would be so ahead of the curve? Because many people don't know what Bitcoin is, the crypto community takes note of these rare mentions by celebrities. And since TV shows and movies influence millions of people, having Hollywood push a pro or anti-Bitcoin agenda could impact whether it gains mainstream traction, especially among the younger generation. And it will. Good or bad, the fact that it's getting mentioned, there's no such thing as bad publicity at this stage of the game. All right, that's all I have for Crypto Talk for this morning. Hope you guys learned something new. As always, that is the point. Today is Wednesday. Tomorrow I will be doing crypto education presentation. KGX, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. I'll put the link, kgxglobal.info. 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, tomorrow night. I'm expecting to hear some good words soon on the SIM card side, and you'll start hearing me talking about that a whole lot more often. And I'm excited. We've got people that's starting to get funding so that they can now have money to use to put in the crypto space. Those who are interested in having money to invest in your business, you can go to winwithivy.net. Check that out. Those that's looking for funding. That's one thing that I learned in the crypto space that separates everybody. Do you have money to play with? The crypto space is about letting your money work for you. Well, if you're trying to invest in the crypto space, letting your money work for you. There's a difference between having $1,000 working for you and having $50,000 working for you. There's a huge difference. The only downside is I know a lot of people who have access to a lot of money. And because they have access to a lot of money and they've made money in crypto, they think they're experts. No, you're not. You just had more money to play with than other people. The number one game is still education. If you had education, you would have made even far more money. Anyways, that is it for Crypto Talk. I was scheduled to go to Chicago this weekend for the KLS Summit, but I have family emergencies that I have to deal with that's keeping me landlocked in LA, so I will not be able to make the trip to Chicago this weekend. I was really looking forward to that. So just giving you a heads up. Anyways, everybody have a great day today. I will see you tonight. There should be, we'll see how the news is, but I probably will do a Crypto Talk tonight, even if it's only one article. 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific tonight. You can either come on YouTube or straight to teachmecrypto.info. That's my Zoom channel that I do my YouTube lives through. teachmecrypto.info. Every day, 12 p.m. Eastern and 9 p.m. Eastern. All right, have a good day, everybody. God bless. Bitcoin Brandon out. Bye-bye.